Hey Karin, how's it going?
Hey Nathan, good. How are you?
Doing well, thanks. Good to see you again.
You too.
Yeah, so thanks for hopping on this call with me. Yeah, the whole point of today is just to do a quick testimonial. And so, yeah, why don't we kick things off by having you introduce yourself, tell the people out there who you are, what you do, and we'll start from there.
All right, great. So my name's Karin Bailey. I'm based in Australia. Um, I'm a marketing consultant and I've worked in the industry for around about 25 years. So obviously started off when there was no Google and we were having to do a lot of personal marketing, things like that. So it's been a real journey for me. It's been a real journey coming right through into the digital marketing sector. And what was really exciting for me is after COVID, I kind of decided to step things up a little bit and learn something a little new. And I kind of got into lead generation and then more recently, just trying to improve my offer, really. There are a lot of people out there who are doing different forms of digital marketing. So my whole thing is really just trying to improve my service that I give to people and to I suppose just be on a slightly different level, which is kind of what I'm aiming for and why I'm here.
Awesome. Yeah, so for everyone out there, your company is called Blueprint Digital, right?
Yeah, Blueprint Digital Agency. Bit of a mouthful sometimes. Sometimes I think I should have just kept it as Karin Bailey, but it's good. Everything's a work in progress, and yeah, it's been good because obviously that's something that I set up. I've done pretty okay with it and that, but yeah, through you, I'm kind of still evolving. So this coming year maybe a few differences, changes.
Yeah, so we've been working together since November, and just about like, 6 weeks into working with me one-on-one, you're able to start closing some of your biggest deals, like 2,500 a month and up. We helped you figure out your niche, so now you're working with med spas exclusively and figuring out your offer for them as well, like what type of advertising and lead gen that you want to do. So yeah, I'm going to ask just a couple more questions from there and might just ask next, how did you hear about me exactly?
Yeah, so as I said, just got interested in the whole lead generation thing, just via an online ad that I saw, and then got involved with basically a company that does the whole lead generation thing and has quite a bit of support and a really good program. So I got into that, and then through a group, you were part of it, and you were really good at helping other people with questions. A lot of questions they had, obviously a big learning curve, and then I pretty much from there got onto following your personal profile where a lot was happening. And obviously, you were still assisting people with various things and growing in their businesses. So, yeah, I think we just started communicating. And then after that, we kind of got a little bit further and got chatting about some of the things that I would need for my business going forward. So, yeah.
Yeah, awesome. So you were following me on social media for a while. We were both in the same mastermind. And what ultimately made you choose to work with me?
Well, I think we had a meeting online, which was just like to find out whether it was going to be a good fit for you and me. Um, I mean, my background may be slightly different to some, but I think the good thing about you is that you're prepared to meet people at whatever level they're at. So yeah, it was really good. We just chatted about what you could offer me, where I was at with things. Some things I was doing really well, but some things I knew I needed help with. And not only that, being in this industry where it's a very almost isolated industry often when you're working on your own. So
Hmm.
I just have been looking for someone for a while that I can actually just ask those difficult questions. You've kind of done it all yourself as well. You've kind of been through the processes. You've also, I think, got a heart for coaching.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just kind of figured out that it was going to be a really good fit for me to have you who kind of, as I say, had often made the mistakes, were able to give me good advice. And yeah, I think that's pretty much what the decision was. And I knew as I say, you had done a lot of the hard yards already.
Yeah, for sure. And like you said, it's not like we're surrounded by a lot of people all the time in this field. Like we're working often from home or alone on our computers. And, I even have a coach myself because, I need to have someone to bounce ideas off of and, make sure I'm headed in the right direction. So yeah, I totally get that. It's not like we're going into an office with a bunch of peers around us that we can talk to and kick ideas around with and, grow a business with. It's like most of us are going it solo or we have like a couple people. So yeah, good to have someone in your corner helping you
Absolutely.
along the way.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I guess diving into some of like the obstacles and struggles before we started working together, like I remember, you had kind of like multiple niches that you were prospecting and you were doing a lot of like custom offers and your pricing and deal structure wasn't really standardized. So yeah, maybe you can speak to some of those things a little bit.
Yeah, I just think with my background particularly, but it obviously doesn't only apply to that. I had been used to taking on marketing from whoever needed it, basically. So you'd think that would make sense, to just take whatever business you can. But ultimately, through you, I've kind of realized how important niching down is. Um, and one of the reasons is like I had quite a lot of experience with skin clinics, med spas and skin clinics. And you pointed out the fact that, well, if you've got that experience, why not just kind of rinse and repeat? So people coming in, you don't have to learn something all over again. So that was a really big thing for me. But also, I think another big thing for me was undervaluing myself. I think I've kind of often done that. So it's easy when you're being employed because you kind of just I've had obviously previous part-time employments and run my business at the same time. It's easy then because it's a salary. People are prepared to pay you for a certain amount a month, so that's much easier. But when it comes to this kind of thing, it's you really do have to put forward a price structure or offer that people, how can I say, basically that they really value for you for. And that was what I was really not probably doing. I was more looking at, well, what can they afford? Now,
Hmm.
ultimately, it's really difficult to know what people actually can afford because it really is sort of proportional to how much you can give to their business. So I really realize now that it's important to know what our services are worth and to put that forward. And not every single person that comes forward to you is going to land up being a client. So I think that was probably quite a big thing for me to learn as well. Before that, I was like trying to help everyone, and sometimes they weren't wanting to commit to more than a month because they hadn't quite got the results they'd wanted, not committing. So yeah, I've learned a lot from that perspective.
Yeah, for sure. And that can be exhausting, trying to serve everybody and can be a waste of your time. And I mean, it's a mindset shift that I'm going through too, which is basically like, you know, to build the business you want, sometimes you have to let go of those short-term opportunities that are the low-hanging fruit because it's not aligned with where you want to go long term.
Absolutely, absolutely. So yeah, you've certainly taught me that. And I mean, the other thing that I've learned more of as well is, what are the areas that are really scalable? Again, in my line, which can be a disadvantage, because I've got skills in a wide range of different things. People are kind of going, yeah, I want LinkedIn, plus I want Facebook, plus I want Google, plus I want. So really going forward, I know that I'm going to be deciding to do more of the services that are automated and scalable, because ultimately those are things that I can put together a whole campaign in a day or two and have it running, and then move on to the next client and just be looking after those people. So yeah, so for me, I probably was kind of maybe it was difficult because I was carrying a lot of sort of preconceived things from my previous career,
Hmm.
and I had to kind of unlearn some stuff too. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Cool. So, in terms of, results, like we mentioned at the beginning, your deal size has gone up, so you're closing like 2,500 and up deals now. You have kind of a
yeah,
more streamlined service. You mentioned, not undervaluing yourself, and overall, you've like doubled your revenue since we first started working together. So, are there any other like results or like big impact pieces that you want to speak to?
Well, I suppose I just want to say that, some of the clients that have come through, I'm pretty certain that I wouldn't be on the sort of the price of, deals or the price structures I'm on without you, because I probably would have been trying to build them up. I think that was one of the problems I had before I kind of met you. I was sort of thinking, well, let's sort of show them what we can do and then build up. But the reality with marketing is it doesn't happen overnight. And a lot of people, if you position yourself like that, they're expecting to see magic in 2 weeks kind of thing.
Mm.
So what's really good about this is that you give people realistic expectations. You've got a package that you offer them that shows them your value too. And then you also basically saying to them, give me a period, give me 3 months to show you what I can do. And what's really interesting is that you think people would balk at that, but actually they're going, well, you know what, that's fair enough. And what you're saying about marketing, that makes sense. Whereas funny enough, if you're going, well, I'll bring in X amount of leads in the first 2 weeks or whatever, and it doesn't happen because of something or other, and it can actually be market problems as well. Like for example, in December with skin clinics, it slows down. And now what we found with even though we have actually funny enough had increased patients, but what we found now in January is that that's kind of now those inquiries have doubled.
Mm.
So we can't only look at what actual marketing we're doing. We've got to look at market trends and seasonal things. Like for example, people are spending a lot of money at Christmas, and so really it is about being confident going forward and knowing what we can offer, and then also just saying to people, we will do it for you, but you've got to give us a reasonable time frame to do it in. So interestingly enough, no one has balked at that, and they've gone ahead. So it's been good.
Yeah, setting expectation is huge with your clients, and also when you are like really clear with people and you're like not desperate to close the deal or like saying whatever it takes to like get them to pay you, it's way better positioning, and they can feel that and they respect that too, because nobody wants to work with the person who's like desperate to get paid. They're like, something's wrong here, like this, I don't take this person seriously, or they must not be that good. So
Yeah.
yeah, to have that kind of positioning for yourself definitely pays off big time.
I could just add, you then also kind of fit into that sector where, like we all know online, you get a lot of people saying, I can get you to top of Google and I can do all these kind of things for you. And if you don't position yourself the way we're doing, you just put yourself into the bracket of those people who
Mm.
desperately trying to just get someone to reach out. And so I just really believe, and it was important to me to do that because I know my skills. And I with respect, I didn't want to lump myself with people who just kind of like spamming others, and it's just not the area I wanted to be in. And people pick that up quite quickly. They pick it up when you have got the expertise, you have got the know-how, and you're not just kind of trying to get the money from them without producing any results. So
Mhm. Yeah, so last question is, what advice would you give anybody who's like interested or on the fence on working with me?
well, personally, I just have found you to be really easy to work with. I just like the fact that you're very flexible. I think, as I said before, you'll meet people at whatever level they're at. So obviously, not everyone is going to be at the same level. Some people will be just entry level. Others will be perhaps running a fairly successful business. But the big thing is that I think looking at goals is really important. You've helped me to really sort of focus in on what is it I actually want to achieve? So again, everyone's goals are going to be different. You're also very easy to work with, I think. Personally, I just like people who are, I think you just take the time to kind of get to know exactly what it is that, or you have taken the time to get to know what it is that I want. But by the same token, you've also given strong direction. So it's a bit of both. It's being really easy to work with, but it's also being strong enough to say, yeah, that's going pretty well, but we could do better. You could be doing this or that. So yeah, just I think really giving good direction has been one of the things, but in a nice sort of reassuring way without being too forceful.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Cool, Karin. Well, yeah, thanks so much. Appreciate it. Appreciate your time. And
Well,
yeah,
thank you.
we'll see you on the next call.
Fantastic. Thanks so much, Nathan.